my name is Echochey and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a boatload of stuff. I'm testing out the new Wet n Wild Focus Primer, their new matte lips. I've got a Stila palette. I've got Kat Von D concealer, some brushes, some more brushes, one of the Lunch Money Colorpop highlighter. I'm going to be testing out all of this for you today, so keep on watching and we'll get right to it. Alright, so today we're going to be starting with these brushes. Oh, upside down. So, I bought the Sephora complexion brushes. They come in this white pouch. It says Sephora, and then you open her up. It's got a little tutorial on the side here, a flap to keep them nice and condensed, and then you've got your 5 brushes. And I bought brushes because if you've been watching my channel for a minute, you know that I've been using some no-name brushes that I don't even know where they're from for now. So we've got the powder brush. So they're really nice. They've got white handles. It's like written in like rose gold, and then they've got like the rose gold sort of plating, and it's sort of like a domed, it's not super flat, but it's not like a dome brush. It's half flat dome brush. It's nice and soft. So this is the powder brush from Sephora. These are all Sephora brushes. This is the buffing brush, and I sneak peeked it in my monthly subscription bag from Ipsy. So if you watch that video, you've seen this brush. So I have tested this brush. I think it's a great brush so far from what I used it. I just put on some bronzer with it really fast. But it is so soft. Next I have the foundation brush. This is different than my standard foundation brush. I've been using like this flat brush. So this one's completely domed, more dense, super dense, but it feels kind of different. So like when you go down, it doesn't feel like you're using the whole brush to go down. It just feels like you're maybe using a chunk for some reason, even though you're using a whole brush. It feels like just like one chunk is actually doing the work. It feels like the rest are just like spread eagle. So we'll see about this brush. This is your big concealer brush. And then we have a little concealer brush. So this is like the detailed concealer, so maybe for like around your nose, and anywhere sort of that you have like a line, maybe to help fill in the lines a little easier. And then next brush set that we're testing is these from Still Spa Essentials. I got these at Walmart. It was like $8 for the set, but as I said, I just needed some brushes that I could name. So these ones come in a little travel pouch, so I got the travel kit. This one's kind of a little useless, but it's just sort of like a brush. Let's use the back of this bag, it seems to work. So you've got sort of like just an eyebrow brush. Then we sort of have like this sort of angled brush. That is hard. Oh, okay. So it was just the coating on it to keep it nice and fresh looking. Made it super hard. I'm just going to quickly wipe it off. It's softer. It's still pretty stiff, but it seems like it would work as like a good angled brush. Maybe if you're trying to get that line, we will see. Next I have this is the eyeshadow blender ombre. So This is the eyeshadow brush. The background was too white, you can't see it, but it's got like a white tip. It's nice and soft. It might be a bit big for the eyes. It's like a good all over brush, probably. We'll test that. And next is the blush brush. Alright. So, again, it's just sort of like a big brush. It's soft. It's very soft. I like this one. But, like, it sort of just, like, goes sparse. So, we'll see how this applies blush. We'll test it out. So, I've just sort of cleaned all the brushes with my homemade solution. And let's look at the next product. So, today, we're just going to use something we've always used. And it's the Avon magiX primer. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger. A lot, apparently. I'm going to take a lot. I'm actually going to take all this extra and just sort of wipe it off because it's too much. It'll ruin everything. And we're going to be using the Revlon Colorstay 24-hour makeup. I'm in shade 110 Ivory. So we're just going to take our foundation brush from the new complexion line. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the back of my hand. A lot. Again, I messed up. And it's a lot. So I've got a lot of product. Let's see how it goes. It's picking up the product pretty nice. So let's see how it applies. So I don't know if you can see, it's applying it really streaky. I'm not liking the way that this brush is applying foundation. I think I would use it as not a foundation brush. I would use it for different things maybe. Foundation just seems like a no-go. I'm going to actually take my buffing brush instead, dip in, and let's go to town with this one. So I'm liking the way that this brush is blending out my foundation a lot better. It's making it look smooth, doesn't make it look clumped up in any sort of spot, it doesn't look streaky. So I'm just going to finish my face and I'll give you my final thoughts on this brush. Alright, so I've tried to work pretty hard. These brushes just aren't what I thought they were going to be. They're not bad, but they're not like super amazing. This brush is definitely my favorite so far. I tried to, if you didn't notice, I tried to take the smaller one to do my nose because I thought it would make it like easier. But it sort of took the foundation right here off. So I had to push more in. I do like that, like this one you can sort of like bounce it like a little beauty blender. You could bounce your beauty blender on top of this even. I don't think it makes much of a difference. I do like this brush. If I could just buy this brush separately, I would. Because they had these in the store for you to like pick up and test on your hand, and this was my favorite brush, and this is actually the reason I bought this set, is because I thought this one would apply foundation really good. And it's not doing a bad job. I will say that. It's not doing a bad job. Alright, and so next we're going to try Kat Von D. So I have previously tried her liquid lipsticks. I really like those. So, funny story, I went to Sephora to get myself a concealer to try, and the lady's like, oh, I've got all these ones that I want to try on you. So she sits me down and she brings over 2 concealers, and he's not wanting to nap. So she brings over 2 concealers. So my son doesn't think it's his nap time apparently, but it is. It's nap time every time this time of day. So so she brings over a bunch of concealers, like 2, sorry. She brings over 2, a Tarte one and crap. There's another one. Anyway, she puts it underneath my eyes and she's like, these are your skin tone. These are the lightest shades that this company has, and it's your skin tone. And I'm like, I'm a ghost. Crap. I'm like, how am I going to get a concealer to brighten my obviously pale skin? And so she's like, wait, I've got one more to try. So she runs over and she grabs this Kat Von D one, the Lock-It Concealer Cream in shade Light 1 Neutral, which I dropped. And she's like, if this one doesn't do it, I don't know which one will. And because I had asked about Shape Tape, but apparently you can only get that in the States. You can ship it to Canada, but you can only buy it in the States, like Ulta or something. So she's like, this Kat Von D one though is going to be good for you. So, oh, it's got a little triangle one, a doe foot, and it's angled. So she said, if this concealer doesn't match you and brighten you, then I don't know which one will. So, against my skin tone, you can see it's lighter, which is everything I wanted. It's a nice consistency, actually. So, I apparently will have a hard time finding concealers to brighten underneath my eyes, and that's fine. So I'm just going to use a little bit. I don't want to push it too far. Alright, so these apparently are the places I'm going to brighten. I do have to say, so far I'm liking the packaging, but I've always liked Kat Von D's packaging. It feels really nice applying it. The doe foot is pretty easy to apply and it gives you a good amount of product. The wand is not too long like the lipsticks are. Like, this would be a better size wand, I think, for those liquid lips. So I'm just going to take my concealer brush from Sephora. So for future reference, I would apply one section and blend out that section, apply the next section, blend that one out, because it dries pretty fast. That is just something I've just learned. Trial and error is how you're going to get all your makeup done. This concealer brush, it was pretty nice for blending out. This eye always creases. I don't know what it is. I should set that eye faster right after I've done something. But yeah, I am liking the brightening effect that I'm getting from this concealer. And the formulation is really good. Dries really fast, but that's a learning error, so I've just got to apply one section and go for it. If you notice, it's taken away the color and it looks good. I'm really liking this concealer. We'll see how it holds up because I'm about to go out shopping. I'm going to go to my favorite store, clothing store. No, not Torrid. I love Torrid, but Blame Betty. They've got all the vintage, rocking sort of clothes, and that's sort of like the style I like. And they have a clearance sale going on right now, so I've got to get my butt down there. So I'm just going to set all of it with the matte powder just so that I reduce the risk of my under eye, and I'm going to use the powder brush. I've already dipped it in. So it picks up a fair amount of product. It's pretty nice. I'm just going to set under my eye real quick. Alright, so I look paler than a ghost, and let's continue. So in my subscription bag, I got some Tarte bronzer. So let's maybe bronze up this ghostly complexion. Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. You feel it? You feel it too? Alright. So I'm just going to take my Tarte bronzer. This is in shade Park Avenue Princess. It's got a nice thing. I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush, and I'm just going to sort of work it in and bronze up my face a little bit so I don't look dead. And I'm going to take this small concealer brush that they gave me, the detailed concealer, and I'm just going to take a little bit of the bronzer and go down my nose. Now that we've added a little life back, I'm just going to quickly add some blush. And I am going to take my Tarte in Paaarty, and I'm just going to take my powder brush. I lied. I'm going to take my blush brush, swirl it around a bit. So since it's white, you can tell it's picked up a bit of product. Doesn't do a terrible job applying the blush, to be honest. It's not as bad as I had assumed. It's not great, but it's not bad. I definitely use this brush again. So let's just set all that. I wanted to get my powder on first, and then just set it all with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus setting spray. Whoa. Might be scary. Let's try this together. Whew. That sure hoses you. Okay. So the reason you want to put setting spray on and then buff in with a beauty blender really quick is so that you don't get like the powdery finish on your face. You sort of look more natural. That was sure a spray. It's very wet is what I'll say about that. It's kind of scary. Let's do it one more time. Yeah, it's just like somebody hits you in the face with a hose. But not bad for a base. I do actually like the this setting spray. I do like it. It feels good on the skin. It doesn't leave you feeling sticky or tacky. I do not like the sprayer. It feels like you're getting sprayed in the face with a hose. It's very wet. It's a little bit of a shock when it hits your face. You're like, whoa, where did that come from? I knew it was coming, but I didn't know that it was gonna be like, whooshoo. I'm just going to take my Nomad highlighter, and I'm going to dip into it with this huge eyeshadow brush. Swirl it around just like a little bit, pick up some product. Now that's a highlighter. You all know I like my Jeffree Star highlighter, but this highlighter, it's like butter. It's a great quality. There we go. That is highlight. Yes. Yes. I love this little highlighter. I think it's so cute. I'm just going to prime my eyes with some Essence I Heart Color. And let's get on to the Stila palette. So, backwards, Stila. So I'm using the Matte and Metals palette. So there are 6 mattes, 6 metals, and I'm just going to start with my Cala brush, and I'm just going to dip into Velour. There's not a lot of kickback, so that's nice. And I'm just sort of going to put that in my crease. That is a great crease color for lighter skin. I'm really liking that as a crease color. Looks pretty good. So just going to take my clean all over brush, and I'm just going to dip into Vintage, and I'm just going to sort of put that all over. And yes, I know I just put a crease on, but to do things a little backwards here. So this does work good as an all-over brush. Let's try it as a crease brush. So I'm just going to deepen my crease now. I'm going to dip into Fringe. So it's a sort of darker color. Wow. I very lightly tapped in there, and it is powerful stuff. Like, power. That is the sign of a great product. I'm really glad I invested in this. I'm sort of going to go into this purple shade in the middle called Suede. Very lightly, and I'm just going to throw that in the outer. It's called Bohemian. So this color, we'll do it halfway on the eye, and then maybe we'll take this Sizzle and we'll put it like the rest of the way, and we'll see about putting this dark color in the corner. We'll see. So I'll start off with the Bohemian. Alright, so I am back. I have just done a winged eye with this eyeko Skinny liquid black eyeliner. I didn't make any mess ups until I got to my mascara. I used the L'Oreal Waterproof Voluminous Carbon Black, and I accidentally touched here. So I had a gray cast going on, and it's not the eyeliner's fault, it was my fault. I touched with the mascara wand. I just want to get this video over really fast. My camera keeps dying. I did just charge it really quick, but we're going to use the Wet n Wild liquid catsuit in shade Video Vixen. And if it's not just me, this looks a lot like this, does it not? Like, the components look the same. There's a clear wand in there, and this one, it doesn't have like the clicky lock, but clear wand. Clear wand. And it's also got the seat. So I wonder if they started using the same supplier maybe as Jeffree, because they now have like the almost the exact same component. Theirs just seems a little bit cheaper, but it's the same component. Let's just do the lips. This is very streaky. I do have to say the seeded doe foot does feel a little bit like Jeffree's, except for their it's cheaper and the doe foot's more stark, I feel. And the feathering of the actual doe foot itself, it's just not the same in quality. It's really dark, it's nice and vampy, it's going to be great for a fall color. I feel it goes good with this look, which I'm really enjoying. I love these Stila eyeshadow palettes. Alright, so this is the final look I created. So far I'm loving the eyeshadows. They are not creasing. The brushes were pretty good. I liked them. I preferred the Sephora brushes, the buffing brush. I thought that was a good one. If I could have just bought that one separate, I would have. This Wet n Wild catsuit liquid lip. So it's completely like it pills. This has only been worn for less than an hour, about half an hour, and it's not very good. Comes off really easy, stains your finger, gets on everything you're trying to eat. So I'm just going to take that off, but yeah. Please hit that subscribe button and like this video. Thank you so much. Have a great day.